Namaskar, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I thought of talking about a little bit about retrogradation of planets. Some people call it retrogression, some people call it the planet is moving backward or going back. In fact, the retrograde motion is when the planet appears to be going in the reverse direction when observed from the Earth. This is not real, it's the optical illusion caused by differences in the orbit. Take an example. You're driving on the motorway, you find another car on the left hand side on the left lane, you're about to overtake. The car on the left lane is driving at the speed of 60 kilometers an hour. You are driving at the 80 kilometers an hour. You will overtake the car and move forward. And then if you look at the rear mirror, you will observe or you will feel the car behind you whom you just overtook appears to be going backward because you're moving forward, because you're moving faster. Same situation can happen with the planets too. At times, planets are at different angles, moving at different speed, at various speed, and it appears to be moving backward. I call this entire episode, in short, in layman language, the message I believe is given to us to the nature is that rewind, review, and renew. Rewind means go back in the past, of course, in your thoughts. Review, introspect the situation impartially by going inward, by communicating with the real self inside you, talking to your inner voice, getting the options and directions, what need to be done, how you should have done in the past, because you're already rewound back into the past situations. There seems to be some unfinished business maybe to attend to. Maybe there's some unfinished work you need to do. That is the message the planets are giving to you. Come on, man, sit down, go back, rewind back, review the situation, do the impartial introspection, and then recharge yourself, come back with a renewed approach to move forward with much more self-awareness and confidence. So each planet talks about different components of life, different type of energy, it's a different aspect of day-to-day life. Some planets talk about the personal life, some talk about the life of the entire generations. But the meaning of every planet going in a retrogradation motion means different thing to different people. The customer chart, it will be different meaning. Because the meaning changes as per the position of the planet in different sign, different rising sign, different nakshatra, different constellation, different part of the constellation, different dasha, periods running, different varga, different division chart, effect of the other planet causing that. So many combination one has to look into before coming to the conclusion. So what's going to happen in next few months? Quite a few planets will be going in the retro motion. Pluto has already started going backward from 25th of April 2020, and now it will be followed by Saturn, Jupiter and Venus around 11th, 12th and 13th of May respectively. So these all planets are giving us a message to the individual, message from the overall point of view. Pluto, as I talked about in my previous videos, is the planet of mass tragedies, transformation. I call it the planet of renewal, transformation, and evolution. This planet is about complete change, about conversion, about renewal. It forces you to make changes in your lifestyle, the way the entire world is running. It is forcing us to make some significant changes. The way we are running the businesses, we may have to change the business model altogether. Pluto is the planet which doesn't only affect one individual, it affects the generations of people, number of people, thousands of people. It causes great changes which can last for a long period of time. So Pluto is starting going backward from 25th of April and will do so till 4th of October 2020. Within this period of time, it is sending us the message, it is giving us the message that we need to sit down and look back, review our past, the way we are living our life, and bring or make the significant changes in the lifestyle. Pluto is also the planet of secrecy. Pluto is also the planet of changes which we resist a lot, we don't want to make. Pluto is the planet of subconscious mind as well. So we need to think from that point of view as well. What are the necessary changes? What are the necessary positive changes we need to bring forward? Pluto is the changes of planet of misunderstanding being created amongst people. Because it's the planet of shadow, it's called. So unpack your behavior. Give a hard look at yourself and bring necessary changes. Evaluate your relationship with the family. Evaluate your relationship with the friend. Evaluate your relationship with kids and kin. If you are carrying any grudges in yourself, move it out. Eradicate it. Uproot it. Because you do not want to leave this mortal coil by carrying all the garbage in your mind. Remember one thing, you came with a cry when you were born, you were crying. At least when you leave, when you depart the world, depart with a smile. If you're carrying a lot of grudges in you, you cannot live with smile. Okay, let's move on to next planet. Pluto, yes, from government point of view, it talks about day-to-day eternal events. It talks about the home ministry. It talks about the education. It talks about the birth. It talks about the abortions. In many countries, the new laws may be implemented to do with education and abortion. Saturn will start moving into retrograde motion from 11th of May till 29th of September. Saturn means rules, karma, regulation, restriction, boundaries, responsibilities, commitment, time and traditions. It makes you aware the need for self-control and setting up your boundaries. This also means that you need to renegotiate your boundary to find out where your limits are. This might be through finding out what you can and can no more focus on. From government point of view, it talks about extreme challenges, especially between 7th to 15th of May. Note the dates, 7th and 15th of May, on 1 week period. Government point of view, I think a lot of challenges will come, especially in the industrial labor side. Virus might spread further, it's on cards, creating more anguish to people. Employment and structural issues will arise within the government department. If lockdown is not relaxed, it must be done properly. If it relaxed, it must be done properly, systematically, in a planned manner. Economy would be revived through rebuilding the structure. Because Saturn is in retrograde motion, the planet of structure. It's telling you, it's telling the government, it's telling us, telling all of us that we need to restructure the entire way we are running the business. And during this 1 week period, 7th to 15th of May, some sort of depression is seen on the cards. Saturn also talks about law and order. Saturn also talks about Air Force in this particular chart. I made the chart, not the individual customer chart, not for the one country, for the entire world. I made astrological, they call it Kundali in Hindi, but astrological chart for the entire world. And that says that it's a lot of things have to be reviewed where courts are concerned, where judges are concerned, where the balancing of the society is concerned, where Air Force is concerned, where the spirituality is concerned, and again it's talking about the birth and abortion again. Venus will start going backward from 13th of May. Venus will be in the retrogradation motion from 13th May to 25th of June. Venus represents our sentiment, what we value, and the pleasure we take in life. Venus talks about love, relationship, entertainment, beauty, money, pleasure of the senses in short. It talks about drama, music, artistic inclination. Its retrogradation means it is the time for us to sit down, go back in your thoughts, re-evaluate the things about the people we value more in our life, and then make the necessary decisions. I will humbly request, do not make any decisions during the time when Venus is in the retro motion from 13th of May to 25th of June, but think about it, what can be done or not. From government point of view, they will re-evaluate the financial strategy. They'll start pumping extra money to boost up the economy. And Venus also in the world chart talks about the international trade, it talks about the foreign affairs, talks about the home ministry, sentiments of people, and many matters. The next day, the following day, 14th of May 2020, Jupiter starts going in retrogradation motion and goes on till 13th of September 2020. Jupiter, generally speaking, is the planet of expansion, planet of growth, planet of wisdom, dealing with overseas beliefs and religion, finance, trade and business. Jupiter was in Sagittarius before he came into Capricorn and start going backward when they say or reverse direction or in retrogradation motion. It will enter the Sagittarius sign on 30th of June 2020. And it talks about bringing up the spiritual awareness in the people to expand the higher consciousness, higher mind, to broaden our experiences and have faith in one absolute God. Jupiter means, or its retrogradation means, in general for laymen, our ideas and ideals all are getting twisted. This is the opportunity to rethink the path we are following, analyzing them carefully, finding the balance between that and correcting them. And we will feel the more force of Jupiter from, I believe, from November 2020. We need to see our guiding principles, the code of ethics, the finance and business policies will be reviewed, regulation will be reviewed, laws will be reviewed. This is the time of reviewing all the aspects of Jupiter. So I will say from government point of view, they will be revisiting, reviewing, revising and coming back with a renewed approach how to tackle, how to handle the health problem, how to handle the finance problem, how to handle the employment problem, how to handle the banking and taxation. And in the world chart, it talks about court, it talks about judges, it talks about home ministry, it talks about air force, talks about investments, intelligence, overseas travel and confinements. From 18th of June till 12th of July, Mercury will be retrograde motion. Retrograde motion of Mercury means communication, documentation, accounts, friends, education, teenagers, technology, and some diseases. Issues with communication devices can come up. General communication problem may come up. Misunderstanding with kith and kin. Teenagers start going astray. Hiccups in computers, mobile devices, high-tech instruments. I will suggest if you use the mobile phone or computers, run the antiviruses. Make sure. And virus may relapse during this period. From the world point of view, the chart, in the world point of view, in the world chart, it talks about literacy world, newspapers, publishers, trade and commerce, and the intellectual world talks about court and judges, spirituality and communication and couriers. It talks about, again, intelligence department, talks about investment, health ministry, diseases, army, air force, and so many things come up. It means communication gap may come up between them. 10th September to 14th of November, Mars will start going into retrograde motion. Mars supposed to be is an aggressive planet full of force. Therefore, alert issues will be ordered at the borders of the countries, especially I believe in India. Defense would be needed to be alert at all time at borders, especially between 4th and 15th of September, the period of just 11 days, 12 days. These days are for aggressive actions. And I will say that soldiers, surgeons, not a military men, it must talk about the war and dispute and fire and terror. And in the world chart, it talks about natural calamities. It talks about the rate of suicide going up. It talks about rate of accident, the number of accidents going up. It talks about jails and confinement. It talks about expenditure and intelligence. So therefore, it is a very difficult and challenging time. The period was, I just may have a look, from 10th September to 14th November. So take care. So when these planets are in reverse direction, for layman point of view, I have told you all the aspects of this planet, and I request all of you to sit down and analyze your life, review what you should be doing to make your life better from that aspect of planet, that aspect of things, and then move forward with the renewed approach, with more positiveness, with more spiritual awareness, and having faith in one Almighty, the God. God bless.